Okay, so a couple days ago, Fortnite, they added in an area called a Tilted Town, and I mean, what's so special about this location is that you can't build or break anything when you're inside of that POI, which is it's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways guys, welcome back to another episode of the Fortnite Mythbusters. Today it's episode like 64, I believe. So just like always, if you do have a myth you would like me to test in the next or future episodes, make sure to go down in the comment section down below and drop a comment of a unique myth for a pretty good chance to be featured. Also guys, let's set a really high like goal on today's video. Let's see if we could smash 25,000 likes. That would be insane. I haven't set a like goal this high in a while, and it would be insane if we could actually pass this up. Also guys, I will be doing a face reveal at 500k, so feel free to subscribe if you do enjoy today's video to help me get closer to that goal. And without further ado, let's hop right on in to today's episode. Going straight into the first myth. The first myth is, can you complete challenges in custom matchmaking games, and do they count when you complete them? Now this is actually a really good myth, because in a custom matchmaking lobby, you're basically in a private match, except it's a public match, if that makes any sense. You just join with a key, that way it's the exact same as a public game rather than just having 100 players in the lobby with you. Anyways, in game when I landed at Mega Mall, and I got extremely lucky to find 2 50 shield potions just literally on the roof. And when I took the first one, it literally said apply shields 50 out of 500, which shows that the challenges they're working, and it added another 50 points onto the progression throughout 500. That way it kind of shows that the challenge is working. What's weird though is when I died and I was sent back to the lobby, it shows that there was no progression made towards the challenge at all, and it resets back to 0, which is honestly a really good thing. Sadly, you can't complete challenges in a custom matchmaking game. Going into the next myth. The next myth is, what happens when a brute goes through a rift in game? This has by far been probably one of the most requested myths ever since the brutes were introduced into the game, and let's be honest, the brutes, I have no clue how they're not removed yet, or at least nerfed, or at least removed from, arena, because I seem to die to them literally every single game. It might just be because I'm bad or whatever. In game, when testing this out, I surprisingly found a rift right at Shifty Shafts. I don't remember any rift spawning here, but there seemed to be one in this game, and when I jumped through it, it never really did anything. I tried to jump through it, I tried to build up a platform and literally walk on top of it, and at one point I was walking straight through it. You could clearly see that the brute is going straight through it, but nothing happened. With my player literally sitting in the control seat, he's halfway through the rift and it's still not teleporting you up, which is a little bit strange, but at least it doesn't teleport half of the body up, and then when you go in the gunner seat it doesn't work. But overall, you can't go through a rift while you're inside of a brute. Jumping into the next myth. The next myth is, can the brute destroy buildings or trees while inside of Tilted Town? If you're not familiar with Tilted Town, it was actually added very recently. Basically, whenever you go in a specific area, it's kind of marked off. You change into a specific skin, and you can't build, you can't break, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. It definitely changes up the gameplay a little bit. Anyways, in game, I was in my own custom matchmaking server, and I spawned in a brute, and I try to stomp around the buildings because you don't know if you stomp, it'll kind of destroy stuff within a certain range, as well as the rockets. But I never seem to be able to do any damage to any of the buildings in here, or even destroy them. I took another approach to this myth, and I actually went outside of the barrier, the little orb surrounding Tilted Town, and I even shot some rockets into the town, and it still was undestroyable. I tried to shoot at multiple buildings, even at trees, all at the exact same time, and nothing seemed to break at all. But hey, at least this isn't an issue in game. Going into the next myth. The next myth is, what happens when a brute spawns on top of the meteor, or is it even possible for that to happen? Now, if you haven't played much Season 10, there's basically a meteor that is it's going straight towards Dusty Depot right now, turning it into Dusty Divot in just a couple of seconds. But it's literally above the OG factories, and if you do spawn up there, or you build up there or whatever, you have the anti-gravity effect where you basically jump and you float for a little while. So does the brute get the same effect? Maybe when it lands up there. Massive shout out to the Tim Talon for actually sending me in this footage, but this is an OG brute that literally spawns up here. No one drove this up here, no one just let go of it up here. It literally spawned and land on top of the meteor, and nothing happened. You would get in it, you wouldn't have the anti-gravity effect, and you would just be able to rock it like normal. Nothing really too special has to do with this myth. Sadly, there was no more footage, but thank you so much for sending in the clip, and overall a really good myth. Going into the next myth. The next myth is, do you take take fall damage while inside of a brew, even from the top of the map. With no doubt about it, the brew, it needs to be nerfed in some ways, or at least removed from arenas, or maybe their own game mode. But the brew, we tested to see if you take fall damage even from the top of the map, and the outcome, you're probably going to be surprised. In game, we basically built up to the top of the map, and to show that fall damage was actually enabled in this creative game, my friend jumped off, and he obviously died immediately. It's way too high, so I then followed him, but this time in the brute, and basically when you land, you literally take no fall damage, which how OP is that? I mean, you don't have to worry about any fall damage while inside of the brew, which it's kind of stupid, I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of you guys do support the brew, but personally, I feel like there could be some things that they could change with it to make it a little less OP, like maybe someone in a control seat, if you shoot them directly, since you can see the bottom kind of hanging there, it'll do some damage rather than there being some magical shield around them from the brute, but I don't know. Jumping straight into the next myth, the next myth is, what happens when you enter Tilted Town without having any skins on your account? Will it still automatically apply the Calamity Close? When doing this myth, I jumped on my second account, which only has two things really. I mean, it has a loading screen or whatever. It also has a wrap, which you get from using the supported creator code back in the day, as well as the boogie down emote. So there's no actual skins on this account. When you enter Tilted Town on regular accounts, I mean, a lot of people have the Calamity. It automatically applies the Calamity, the Calamity dress or whatever, and that's actually the exact same thing that happens even when you have no skins on the account, which it's pretty cool. I guess it's kind of like a free skin that you get, but I don't know really how I feel about this. I guess it kind of goes back into the old Western days, so it makes sense, but they could have maybe had a variety or something. But hey, the good thing is that if you go into Tilted Town, you don't have that skin throughout the entire game. Otherwise, that would be basically a very OG skin for literally free without even playing the game at all. Moving straight into the next myth. The next myth is, what happens when you throw a boombox into Tilted Town? Will the buildings be destroyed? Now, I don't know if you guys played Fortnite way back in like season 5, season 6, but basically there was a boombox in game, which it was pretty rare, I'm not gonna lie. I hardly ever found it, but whenever you throw it down, it kind of starts bumping the base or whatever. I mean, it literally destroys walls, any structure within its path, and it was kind of annoying in the middle of build fights, I'm not gonna lie. In game, when I threw a boombox down literally in the center of Tilted Town, you would think it would somehow do damage to structures or whatever, but Fortnite, they're on their crap with this update. The boombox, it literally did no damage at all. I threw it at trees, I threw it at buildings, and I never seemed to get a chance to have it do any structure damage in this location. Honestly, this is a really good thing, but I guess we really wouldn't have to worry about it even if it did, because boomboxes, they're not in the game anymore. They're really only accessible, I believe, in playgrounds and creative mode. Going into the next myth, the next myth is, what happens when you throw a porta fort into Tilted Town? Will the porta fort build, or what really happens? Now, with Tilted Town being a location where you can't build, you can't break anything, there has to be some exploits where you could somehow get maybe like your walls down or something, but unfortunately, porta forts, they're not in the regular game, so even if you are able to, sadly, we really won't have any use to this until they add porta forts back into the main game. Anyways, in game, when I tested this out, I did a glitch to get back to the main island in creative mode, and spawned myself in some porta forts, and I actually threw them down inside of the barrier where you can't build in Tilted Town, and it literally builds the structures and everything, which is it's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Since you could throw porta forts and such in the middle of Tilted Town, I want to see if you could walk past the barrier, and if you could actually keep the porta forts in your inventory and maybe throw them down mid-fight. But unfortunately, whenever you pass the barrier, you literally lose everything in your inventory that it's build wise, like all of the porta forts and such. So a way to get past that is to kind of throw them through the barrier, have them slide down the hill, and you still are able to throw porta forts and such, which it's very good and pretty cool, honestly. The only bummer thing about this is whenever you go up and maybe try and edit your wall from a porta fort that you did throw, unfortunately you don't have access to it, and it's kind of blocked off, which is it kind of sucks. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. If you are new to the channel, make sure to go drop a comment of a unique myth for a pretty good chance to be featured in the next or future episodes. Also, if you guys did enjoy today's video, feel free to consider giving it a thumbs up, as well as subscribing if you are new to the channel. Turn on post notifications to never miss another Fortnite Mythbusters episode, and I will see you guys next time.